Welcome to the Childcare Director's Chair, the podcast for bold educators who are ready to lead, grow, and shake things up in early childhood education. Whether you are a teacher eyeing that lead role, a lead stepping into leadership, or a center owner dreaming big, this is your space to grow with purpose and leave your mark. Hosted by heart-centered leadership coach Erica Sacoccio, each episode brings you real talk, actionable tools, and a contagious laugh or two, all designed to help you step into your next level with confidence. So pour your coffee, pop in those earbuds, and take your seat, because your leadership journey starts right now in the Childcare Director's Chair.
Hey guys, I hope you are having an incredible summer. I certainly am. I feel so excited and blessed to have been able to connect with so many of you over the last few months, and I want to thank you for tuning in day after day. For those of you who are new, you are tuned into the Childcare Director's Chair podcast, where we tackle real-life leadership issues that most people avoid. I'm your host, Erica Sacoccio, and today we're going to talk about one of the most emotional and impactful topics in the childcare industry, and that's pay transparency. Is it empowering or is it divisive? I've been thinking a lot about this lately, and I know that it's something that hits home for so many of us, and for our teams too. With wages jumping, shifts and roles changing, and staff navigating major life transitions, we need to get serious about how we're structuring pay and how we communicate our expectations and build transparency into our leadership. And today's episode, it's going to challenge you, but I think it's also going to help equip you with the tools to make real progress. So let's dig in. Pay transparency means being open and honest about how compensation is structured and how people move up. And it can be as simple as sharing salary ranges by a role, or as detailed as creating a public pay grid linked to certifications, responsibilities, and tenure. It's not just about revealing everyone's paycheck, but it's about removing the mystery behind those pay decisions. When people understand the why behind what they earn, it builds trust and it creates clear expectations. When it's done right, pay transparency empowers your people. It helps them see where they are and where they're heading and what it will take to get there. Now, let's be honest, that kind of clarity can definitely help eliminate gossip and backroom speculation, and it helps people focus on what they can control. Transparency also helps reinforce fairness and equity. You're setting a standard, and this is what we pay for in this role, at this level, and these expectations. And that's not just helpful for new staff, but it's motivating for the people who are ready to grow. Now, let me warn you, it's not all sunshine, because transparency without structure can feel like exposure. And if your pay practices have been inconsistent, maybe you've bumped someone's pay just to keep them from quitting. We've all done it. Or we've given raises without clear justification, then pulling back the curtain can create tension. And we want to make sure that doesn't happen. People might ask, why is she making more than me? Why wasn't I offered a bonus? Or if you can't explain it clearly or confidently, it's going to feel personal. You've got to do the work behind the scenes before you roll out anything publicly. So think about that. Now, I do want to talk about the little mystery in the room, the little secret in the corner, and that's COVID. Yes, we're still talking about COVID. What did COVID do to the pay scale in early childhood education, and why long-term staff are mad about it? Let's get real, guys. Since COVID, childcare wages have increased by 25 to 30%, maybe even more in some places. And that's great progress, and it certainly was overdue. But it wasn't always handled evenly. A lot of centers had to raise wages just to stay staffed, and often that meant new hires came in making more than the folks who stuck around on the hardest years. And those long timers, they noticed, and they're asking themselves, did it even matter that I was loyal? So when you introduce transparency, you have to reconcile that. If your pay grid reveals that your most experienced, most committed team members are making less than someone who just walked in, that's a red flag and it needs to be fixed. And I was just looking at this myself, looking at what staff were making, um, who had been here the longest, what they brought to the table. There were a lot of factors I looked at, and I said, I really want to talk about this. So, how are we going to implement pay transparency right away? Well, this is where it gets exciting because now we talk about solutions. If you're going to do this, do it with intention. Start with compensation philosophy. Like, what do we value? Is it tenure? Is it education? Is it performance? Or is it something else? Could be attitude. Write it down. Your philosophy is your North Star, and it should be reflected in how pay decisions are made. Now, you want to create pay bands for every position. Build a minimum to a maximum for every range, every role in your center. Consider your local job market, licensing requirements, and the actual duties being performed, not just the titles, but what are they actually doing? You see, when you build the pay grid, it's a perfect time to evaluate whether your team members are in the right seats, who has stepped up, who needs a growth plan, and who honestly has hit the ceiling. It's also a chance to discuss what additional certifications or responsibilities are needed to move up. If someone hasn't pursued new training, that might be why they're capped out. If you've been here 10 years and you're still in the same place as 10 years, then you have to look inward because pay should reflect a balance of loyalty, practical experience, best practices, and formal education, not just how long someone's been there. Now, there are some tools that you can leverage. If your state has a quality rating system, a QRS, see if they have an outline for teacher tiers by qualifications. That framework can really help you define your own levels. You could also look at a workforce career lattice. Many states publish these guidelines for credential-based achievement. They're great tools, and they will help you make your pay grid more objective and transparent because it's not just built on what you think, but also best practice and what most centers will be using as well. And plan for growth and succession. As your staff move into different seasons of their life, some returning to school, some stepping back, some stepping out, new opportunities will open up. And transparency lets current team members know what's available and how they earn their way into those roles. Now, don't just hand out raises, hand out responsibilities. Let's get something straight. Pay increases should match increased value to your business. Because guess what? It is a business, folks. Whether that means helping close tours, mentoring new staff, supporting those parent relationships, or raising retention. Raises should come from the added impact, not just time in the building. Your employees are part of your business, and compensation isn't just about good feelings, it's about shared success. So, here are some quick action steps to create your own pay grade. Define your compensation values. Again, tenure, education, performance. List out every job role with clear expectations. And then build your pay ranges based on the local market and your internal priorities. And align ranges that go with your QRS, the workforce lattice, you know, something that shows a growth lane with the required credentials, whether it's a CDA, trainings, whether it's a ECHRS or an ITERS or a class, or leadership tools. Add clarity around that cap. Those levels will help your team understand them. So, here are my closing thoughts. Pay transparency is more than a policy, it's a leadership mindset. It requires clarity, courage, and the willingness to release what you need to release and to reassess not just what you pay, but why. When done right, it gives your team confidence, direction, and honestly, motivation. But when it's done sloppy, it creates division confusion, and worst of all, resentment. You owe it to your team and to yourself to get it right. Because when you talk about money, it reflects how much you value people. So, here's some homework for you. I want you to audit your current pay system. Can you explain it clearly? Is it written down somewhere? Do you have multiple locations and it's all over the board willy-nilly? If your directors are the ones that do raises and reviews, then they need to know where they can go with that. And if you're the one who does it, or your HR team, your partner, it needs to be in writing. So reevaluate your staff roles. Are people in the right seats? And are you rewarding value, or are you just rewarding how long you've been here or how much you like them? Explore those external tools. Like I said, those QRSs will really help you. It's very clear in my state what level teacher you are. Just open up the framework. It will tell you whether you're entry level, whether you are a teacher assistant, whether you're a lead, whether you're a leader. Again, I hate hierarchies. You know that about me, but you have to pull some data from something that's best practice. So, take a look at it. And it's not about saying you don't have a degree, so you're not important to our business. It's not about that. It's about showing them how they move up to make more money and have more growth. So while we're talking about growth, and we're on this little subject here, I'd love for you to go take a look at our sponsors at Jackrabbit Care, because they can really help you manage tuition, payroll, staff records, and communication all in one place, which will help you with your leadership. And it might even be able to help you take a look at the back end and save some time and money. So hit the link below, check out a free demo, and let them know Erica from the Childcare Director's Chair sent you. Until next time, stay bold, stay honest, and take care of your people.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Childcare Director's Chair, where we believe leaders aren't born, they're grown. If something sparked for you today, share it, shout it out, or pass it along to the next bold changemaker in childcare. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and stay connected with Erica Sacoccio for more real talk leadership tools and a whole lot of inspiration. Until next time, lead with heart, grow with fire, and always remember, the chair is yours. Now own it.